Hi everyone, I am Kaylee Fazer and I'm going to get us started with our Pinwheel celebration today. I'm a licensed social worker at the Child Advocacy Program, or CAP, where I provide trauma therapy, and I supervise the county's anti-human trafficking program, Safe Harbor. As a Dunkirk native, I am honored to be here today, as we recognize the importance of strong community involvement in raising today's children, and our shared responsibility to lessen the impact of childhood stress, adversity, and trauma. CAP's mission is to end child abuse in Chautauqua County. When abuse occurs, CAP coordinates a community response to bring healing, hope, and justice to children and their families. At CAP, you're never alone. Our multidisciplinary approach brings an array of local, state, and federal agencies together in one safe, child-friendly setting. We work closely with Dunkirk and Fredonia Police Departments, the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office, the New York State Police, and the county's Child Welfare Department. We are currently formalizing our partnerships with Dunkirk Public and Fredonia Central School Districts. It is our vision to see healthy children and families thrive in a safe and engaged community. But let's be honest, children and families in our county and across America are struggling. Nationally, 1 out of 3 girls and 1 out of 5 boys will be sexually abused before they turn 18. 90% of child sexual abuse victims know their perpetrator, and 68% are abused by a family member. Last year at CAP, we served approximately 300 northern Chautauqua County children and identified about 30 local youth to be at risk for human trafficking or commercial sexual exploitation. But hear me out, neighbors, child abuse is preventable. When families know they have support and access to resources, they are better parents. So what do? Well, we can help cultivate parental resilience by encouraging parents to manage stress effectively and to understand how to buffer their children during stressful times. The Salvation Army's Child and Family Outreach Program does just that. The Chautauqua Center, UPMC, the Resource Center, Chautauqua County Mental Hygiene, and CAP all have licensed professionals providing behavior and mental health care for children and their families. We can support social connections by facilitating mutual aid and promoting community engagement. We are so lucky here in Dunkirk to have some great programs like Kids at Promise, Dunkirk's Unified Sports Program, the Boys and Girls Club, and many other ways to get involved. Stay tuned, we have a new initiative, Arise Chautauqua, which will be offering peer groups and programming for teen girls here in Dunkirk starting this summer. We can also provide information and resources on parenting and child development and address parenting concerns from a strength-based perspective. CAP offers several trainings for caregivers and adults. Check out our evidence-based curriculum, Nurturing Parenting, Stewards of Children, and our Links to Safety, Parenting in a Digital Age training. We can also advocate for fair wages and access to healthcare. When a family is in crisis, we can commit to providing concrete, timely support. We can help parents foster their child's social emotional development and respond proactively when support is needed. But to do that, we need all the help we can get. It is our collective responsibility to cultivate the safe, stable environments that children need to learn, grow, love, thrive, and ultimately contribute to our community. So today, I'm asking you to find one thing you can do. Check in on the new mom down your block, register for one of our trainings at CAP, or help a teen fill out an application for Chautauqua Works. Whatever it may be, we can all take action to support the families and children in Chautauqua County. So thank you. And with that, I will turn this little stage over to Mayor Kate.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here today. We truly appreciate everything that everybody does for the community to try to bring this to the forefront and make sure that we have an impact on all of this. With that, I'm going to read the proclamation from the City of Dunkirk. Whereas April is nationally recognized as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and whereas tragically child abuse remains a significant public health issue, and despite the complex factors contributing to this abuse, it is preventable. And whereas child abuse prevention cannot be tasked to one community, agency, or system, Whereas we must all work together to strengthen our communities and build localized, accessible support systems that contribute to the well-being of the entire community, protect children, and keep families whole. And whereas preventing child abuse and building strong, safe, healthy children, families will benefit the entire community, setting up the future generations to succeed. Now, therefore, I, Kate Dovias, by the virtue of the authority invested in me as mayor of the city of Dunkirk, and on behalf of the Dunkirk Common Council and all residents, do proclaim the month of April 2024 to be Child Abuse Prevention Month in Dunkirk, and urge all residents to come together to celebrate small actions that each of us can take that will make a big impact. And now I'll turn the microphone over to Nicole Drosdale, who is the Hillside Program Manager.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nicole Drosdale. I'm a program manager for Hillside. We operate several prevention programs in Chautauqua County, 2 of which I oversee. Typically, I don't volunteer for these types of situations, I have to be honest. But when we were meeting as a committee and discussed how the state is shifting its focus from previously acknowledging this as Child Abuse Awareness Prevention Month to shifting that focus to Strengthening Families Month, I knew I had to come up here. I just absolutely knew it, because if you picture this, right, 1997, I was a very young person in her first career choice in human services, and I got into this position, and it was pretty progressive for its time, where it was called Family Service System Reform. And Governor Ridge had decided that he wanted to shift the way human services was operating with families. And so these community boards were created, and there were representatives from every sector. So you had parents and teachers and emergency responders, all partnering with social service providers to help improve access to services, increase dialogue, and to see what families really needed. Now, it isn't often a young person goes into their career and that first one impacts their trajectory as much as that one did for me. But over the next 25 years, I worked in many sectors of human services where we wanted to empower families. We wanted to empower their voice. We wanted to help them make their own decisions. We wanted to help them address any needs they have or address their mental health or any substance use challenges that might be present. And in that time, our world was changing. The world of social services was changing. And what we were beginning to recognize, and as we were looking at data and outcomes, is that families do better when they're driving the services, when families have a voice, and when they feel like this is being done with me, not to me. And so we were not just seeing it here in Chautauqua County, but statewide and nationally. And in 2018, there was a piece of legislation, and some of you may be familiar with this, called the Family First Prevention Safety Act. Did I do that right? I always get that S wrong. Okay, thank you. And with that new act, we shifted our focus. We said, rather than trying to fix children who are having problems by removing them from their home and putting them in another setting in order to increase stability, we recognized through a lot of learning and a lot of mistakes and a lot of data that suggested that removing a child from their home, even a home that had a lot of troubles, was more traumatic than if you had allowed and worked the child to stay in their home with their family of origin and make the changes that needed to happen. So as that federal legislation happened and a new shift in focus came, and as we know with legislation, when focus changes, funding changes, right? So it was the nice way that dollars were moved federally into, instead of placing children, working in prevention to help children and families stay together and make the changes they need to make. So New York State took a 2-year waiver, and in 2020, New York State implemented Family First here in our state. And with that, there have been challenges, there have been hurdles, but there have also been a shift in focusing to prevention programming, and that's what I do here with Hillside. We have 2 programs where we work intensively in the home with families, finding the family's strengths. Sometimes that's easy, sometimes it's hard. When you approach a family and you say, I want to know your strengths, sometimes they look at you like a deer in the headlights. What do you mean I got strengths? Aren't you just going to fix me? Aren't you going to tell me how I need to do things? So a lot of times there's a lot of relationship building. There's a lot of learning new ways of addressing old problems, sometimes generationally, but we partner and we work with those families and we help them find their voice to find solutions that make sense for their child. And so I'm so honored to be part of such a great team here today of hardworking folks in the human services field. And we are super excited to celebrate with you Strengthening Families Month here not only in Chautauqua County but across New York State. And with that, I am going to now introduce Sheridan Randall, who is the Safe Harbor Coordinator. Did I get that right?
You did.
Very good. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Sheridan Randall. I am the Safe Harbor Coordinator in the county. Safe Harbor is the anti-human trafficking initiative that we have here in Chautauqua. And I'm really excited to be here today. I love doing these events and having the community just being aware of what we are trying to do with these pinwheels. I'll move my paper real quick. So in our county and across America, there is a problem with child abuse. And this month is to recognize that, acknowledge that, and provide awareness and education to the community on how we can be helpful and how we can lower risks and strengthen the families. It's far more than just the pinwheels. The pinwheels are just a symbol of hope, but each and every single one of us has a part to play in this. And it may seem daunting, it may seem overwhelming, it may seem like that's just too much to take on, but together, there's strength in numbers when we can all partner together to build a stronger community. That's the beauty in this Awareness Month, to not only shine light on the abuse and the issues, but to assist people in how to become trained, how to become educated. There's gonna be QR codes on the yard signs that are available for community members to scan it, get quick access to red flags and warning signs, how to respond, how to get educated and trained. One simple, quick scan of your cell phone can give a wealth of knowledge for community members. Each and every single one of us can take tiny little steps in reducing the traumas, reducing the risks, and in strengthening our community and making things stronger and better. So at the Child Advocacy Program, we offer trainings to professionals and community members. We have a load of trauma counselors and information that we have available for everybody. So with that quick little wrap up, these pinwheels, as we plant them, we are planting seeds of hope. We are planting awareness to the community to shine a light on this. And I hope every single one of you sees these pinwheels, thinks to yourself, how can I learn more? How can I prevent this? How can I help my community? Simple steps that we can take. So thank you guys so much for coming out, and I hope you have fun putting these out there in our ground today. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks.
Thanks.